Hello everyone, and welcome to day 67 of my 100-day project. I cannot believe we're almost to day 70 and I'm almost finished with these oil sticks. Drawing oils, crazy, it's gone by so fast. Today's painting is another quick one. I took some of the cadmium yellow light and a little bit of solvent and toned my canvas. I waited maybe a minute or two. I fanned it a little bit to try and get it to dry slightly, but I wasn't too worried about it. So I knew that these colors were going to mix a little bit, which is fine. I thought today I would do something a little more mark making oriented. One of the things I've really been enjoying about these drawing oils is the mark making and the shapes that you can get when you make those marks. So I thought I would lean into that a little bit today, doing one of my garden tenders, one of my figures, and a garden, like super simple, just kind of dots, different colors. I'm using quinacridone red, cadmium orange, the quinacridone magenta light, Provence blue, Egyptian violet for the figure, and cerulean blue, I think, the cadmium yellow light, and titanium white. The greens that I end up using in the garden, I'm using 3 malachite green for the background, sort of where the grass is further away, and then permanent green and sap green. And that's it. I kept it really, really simple. I did my flowers first and then added in the sap green around them so you can see a little bit of that yellow showing through, and a little bit of the permanent green on top towards the front just to give it a little bit of dimension, and then that malachite green, that cooler green, I put towards the back. And it occurs to me I could have lightened that up a little bit if I wanted to, but I didn't. So it is what it is. I think probably the part that I had the most fun with, to be honest, was the sky. I've really been enjoying clouds lately and painting skies and making those sorts of marks. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before. I'm a huge Maxfield Parrish fan. Like, I remember there's probably 3 artists that had the most influence on me as a child. One was Maxfield Parrish. I remember seeing the painting Ecstasy for the first time as a child and just being completely blown away by the color combination of this periwinkle kind of sky with these orange and yellow clouds. And I have been enamored with that color combination ever since. So that's something that's always stuck with me. Georgia O'Keeffe, huge fan of her work, just the colors and the shapes and the abstract nature of it. A lot of my photography, when I was doing photography, I really enjoyed doing macro photography. A lot of that was influenced by her. And I've mentioned Van Gogh in the past for the texture and just the idea of painting to keep your sanity, like to process what you're going through. That really resonated with me the more I learned about him and his story. It just, the more I fell in love with his work. But the texture and the color palette are what initially got me with his work. So I'm you can see some of those influences in here, in the way that I'm using these drawing oils to make these marks. I'm blocking in right now, but you'll see me do some mark making here in a minute. And I'm layering what is that blue? I want to say it's the cobalt blue that I have at the top. And then I add a little bit of the cerulean blue, just a little bit. And I decided I'm not really into that. So I'm just going to use white as I get further down to the horizon. Now, this is all mixing with that yellow that's underneath. So it's going to be kind of ironically a warmer white, but a cooler blue, if that makes sense, because the blue's going to be more yellow, but the white's going to be more yellow. That's the thing about color temperature. It's all relative. So the same color can be cool or warm depending on what it's next to. So here is where I'm making those circular marks. And I kind of lost some of the lower clouds that I had in there before, but I'm not too worried about it. I just love, and you'll see when I do a close-up here, I just love the shapes that you can get with these drawing oils. It's so fun to me. I look at a lot of that pointillism type style in a lot of the impressionists like Van Gogh that I love. I love to look at it. But the idea of using a small brush and making those little marks makes my head want to pop off. So how can I achieve that in a style that feels more authentic to me and better in my body? Using these sticks. It's a great way to do that because I can engage my body more. I don't have to make these small little marks. I can make big marks and still get the effect. So I really, really love that. And I've really been enjoying these. I'm excited to do some bigger works with them. It's been a challenge doing this size 5x7, even though these sticks are fairly small. And I've been able to get, for the most part, the detail that I'm looking for. But I'd love to continue to do them on a bigger surface. And I've used their full-size pigment sticks many times in the past, and I love them for the same reason. So these are just a smaller version with a little bit more wax. They're a little bit harder. So I'm excited to combine the two and maybe use these to get some smaller sort of mark-making details if I need them. But they still have those rich, vibrant colors and all of that gorgeous texture, which, of course, I love. So getting close here, just sort of harmonizing my colors, adding some orange into the figure, some of that cadmium yellow into the figure. And off camera, I add a little bit of red into the green as well. You'll see that when I do the close-up here in a bit. So just kind of harmonizing those colors in there. But you can see those swirly marks in the sky. I love that. Love, love, love it. I scratched into the garden to give some lines and some shapes in there. A little bit of texture. And here we go. Look at all those gorgeous swirly patterns. A little ode to Van Gogh there. Thanks so much. Take care of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.